Gorden Tallis and Dobbo with you on a Wednesday, the listener podcast, Footy Talk. Should Ben Hunt be making demands?
No, coaches always have the power. You know
well,
that.
We're going to unpack that.
Mate, and Tommy and Cam Murray, you got a question mark over those. Those guys are straight in. If they were Queensland, they'd be there. We'd put them in cotton wool.
We're going to unpack the Latrell Mitchell, Cam Murray. Should they be picked without playing? Tommy Turbo skipping the 11-day stand down. We'll talk Ben Hunt and Origin at the end of the year. I like that. Anyway, Gorden Tallis and Dobbo, we're unpacking all things football on a Wednesday. This is Footy Talk, a listener podcast. Let's get into it. Wednesday Footy Talk, my favourite time of the week, and I've got my best mate with me, the Raging Bull, Gorden Tallis. I know how happy you are. Twice in a week.
Can
how
we start that intro again?
Talk?
Because there's two things, right? It might be your favourite time of the week, but it's not mine, right? So let's just get to the topics today, please.
Listen, I can tell you now. You want Emma Lawrence? You got it. You got the better version today. You know, thank you. You got the better version.
The bigger version.
Gordy and Dobbo with you on a Wednesday Footy Talk. Let's get into it. Latrell Mitchell, Cam Murray, not named for South Sydney. So, Gordy, if they are to play in Game 2, they will be picked without any rugby league at all. I think for these kind of players, that's not as serious as everybody's making out.
Nowhere near it. Cam Murray plays every second, every minute, plays a brutally tough game of footy. So I think it's going to be welcoming to his body. I think that it's going to refresh him. I think mentally and physically he needs some time away from footy. He's one of those guys that would never not play. So I think it's fantastic. Latrell, he's just got to be running at top speed. Latrell knows that he can come and turn it on. So no, if it was a rookie, if it was Nathan Cleary, even 6 weeks out, I would still pick him and come straight back in. I think the great players are up for it. And then Latrell's fit, Cam Murray, they don't carry any weight, so I think it's fine. I think it's a storm in a teacup.
The thing I say about it is that you would expect if Latrell Mitchell's fit after for Game 2 that he's named straight away. And Cam Murray definitely, I think,
not down here, because there's talk of either he or Tom missing out for Crichton, which I really like Crichton. I thought he was fantastic in State of Origin. I do. So this is it. Do we talk about Origin 1 and how he plays in the jersey? Or do we talk about what Tom and Latrell have done for the last 3 or 4 years and on their day, arguably the best players in the world?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because can I just talk about Tom Turbo, and I'll bring that in. He's been named, which means he's skipping the 11-day stand down. Now, this is because he has gone and got an independent doctor's assessment and that they've deemed him fit to play.
This is dangerous in itself, right? So you got one doctor that says this.
That's right.
Then you got another doctor. It's like keep on going until one doctor says, no, you're right.
He plays the Dolphins. Manly take on the Dolphins. I agree with you this. I agree with you.
So then one doctor sits there at the time and goes, no, you can't. 5 days later goes, oh, well, I don't know whether you've had it. But at the time of the accident, hey, mate, you were asleep. You didn't know, like a boxer or whatever. And then now, 7 days after, they go, oh, no, he's all right now. That's what the stand-down's for all these reasons of what's happening in the NFL. That's what it's there for. And it's like there's a loophole now that they've gone around it. So now every player can do it. They just keep on going to a doctor until they say that. When I got my neck operated on, right, I needed both fused for it to be 100% back. But if I get both my C4 and 5 and if I get the next layer down fused, I was never allowed to play a contact sport. A guy played rugby union for the Wallabies. He went to Melbourne and got it done because the doctor didn't know what he was doing. So he went there, got it done and come back and played. But no doctor in Queensland, because they know what you do for a living, would do it and pass you fit. So you can go get all this. But what's it saying?
Well, that is medicine, Gordon, and opinions do.
Well, don't have the rule then. Okay, so let's not have the rule, right? So let's not save the players. So all this whole debate come out, right? And my line was sometimes you got to save the player from themselves, right? Because they're tough, like a boxer. That's why the coach can throw the towel in. That's why there's a referee. They always want to fight, right? They don't know when they're beaten, some people. So they have this clause now for Not now when Tommy Turbo's 26 or 27 and he's fresh and fit. It's when he's 58, 60, 70, and he's sitting and he's playing with his grandchildren. And now they've just gone against it. That's my theory on it.
So is this a club issue or is this a player issue? Is this on Manly or is it on Tom Trbojevic?
Dobbo, don't you believe the doctor? We've all been saying it. Everybody that's ever sat in the sideline, so then the players have always said, oh, mate, let him play, let him play. We've been hushed, right? So it's in the doctor's hands. The doctor goes, no, he stood down. And now another doctor's come and said, no, he's right to play. I just think it's a little bit dangerous. So as I said, I can just go around now. I could go out the streets here in Sydney and walk and get something and just find a doctor that tells me that I'm sick or this or that. Someone will write a script. I think it's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with it. I agree. I agree with it.
If we like Tommy, right, don't you just say the 10 days? Who do Manly play? Is Seabold under that much pressure?
Well, he probably knows that if he's not fit and he doesn't play, that he doesn't get selected in game 2, and that's probably
he's Tom Trbojevic.
You think he does enough? You think his game was good enough over
Tom
Stephen
Trbojevic.
Crichton? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Do they pick him for Queensland? If this is the whole thing. Oh, that Queensland get Origin. If Tom and Latrell were Queenslanders, would we be talking about them?
It'd be straight pick. There wouldn't even be a debate.
There you go.
The difference is they're not Queenslanders. They're from New South Wales and they've got a history of this. This is where
so
there's
are you.
a
That's
history.
why I'm asking you the question, because you're
you
from
don't
New
need
South
to bring
Wales.
up that. Greg Inglis is a great Queenslander as well, like me. Now, we're going to take a break.
Don't keep on leaning on Greg. Mate. That's
one it. That's
one
the
is
comparison.
close to being immortal.
That's the comparison. I'm an immortal at Footy Talk. That's what I am. I'm an immortal with you on Footy Talk. Ben Hunt. Now, I can't believe that people are being critical around this. The upset from Dragons fans is that Ben Hunt has a demand that if he is to stay there and remain there, he wants to be playing halfback and not at number 9, and that he deserves that. And this is a demand by who has been single-handedly as good a footballer in the last few years as you could ask for.
Yep.
There's questions from different areas in rugby league. Oh, well, if he's going to put these demands, the Dragons need to move on from Ben Hunt. Gordon, I don't know where you sit with this, but Ben Hunt deserves the right to actually say, hey, listen, I want some input into who the next coach is, and also I'm not going to be playing number 9 for you week in, week out at the back end of my career. Yeah, 32.
Yep.
33.
Yep. Will he finish out this coach's contract?
I think he's got another 3 years left in him, yes, at halfback.
Right. So you respect that Ben Hunt says, I want to play there?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So do you respect the coach, the one that comes in and goes, well, I want you to play 9?
Well, this is the thing, Gordon.
No. Answer that question.
No,
Your boss comes and goes,
I don't think the
Dobbo,
coach
you're not
should have
working Wednesday. You're going to work Thursday. What do you say?
No, I'm working Wednesday.
Well, you won't have a job. You don't get that choice.
Well, then I'll go and find another job.
There you go.
Well, we've seen
And
that
he's
play
under
badly.
contract.
So,
No.
would you?
No,
So you think?
Okay.
So you think Ben Hunt should be just saying
run
whatever?
the prison. That's it. So you're one of those. So you're gone so woke. No, you're woke.
No, I'm not woke.
The boss is the boss. It is simple as that. If I'm coaching and I want you to play on the wing, you play on the wing. If I want you to open bat, you open bat. If I want you first drop, you first drop. If I want you coming in number 5, that's what happens. You're the coach. And you tie in. Tell me this. Right, okay, no. I'm going to ask you a question. I want to
ask you a question as a former
Ben
player.
Hunt's best games. The best games you can remember. What number did he have on his back?
He's had 9 and 7, mate.
No, you can't have both because 97's not a number. 97's not a number and 79's not a number in our game.
You think his best games have been in number 9. That's
Absolutely.
where you're leading with this, Gordon. That's what you're trying to say.
I asked you
I think his best games have been at number 7. Consistently, week in, week out, he's been a number 7.
Yep.
I think he's a number 7. I think he's a halfback. I don't think he's a long-term number 9. And I think for Origin, he does a job there. And I get it, but that's 3 games a year.
So what if that? Okay, so ask Ben Hunt this. So if you don't play number 9, you don't play for Queensland. I guarantee you'll say I'll play 9. That's the problem. You got to play wherever the coach. So Billy Slater can get him to play 9. He puts his hand up and loves every moment.
Games, Gordon. It's not week in, week out. A number 9 is a different to a halfback. You can't ask. It's like going and asking Adam Reynolds to play number 9. No, you cotton wool them. They're game managers, and they're the leaders of the side. They steer the team around. Ben Hunt has every right for what he has done for St George and what he's done in the game to say, hey, listen, at the back end of my career, I don't want to be playing number 9 for full week in, week out.
And then what if he goes to the next club and they go, you're going to play number 9?
Well, he wouldn't sign at the next club. He's the other clubs that are chasing him want him as a halfback. Now, we know that, and you know that. Surely he's got some equity in what he's done for the game.
Right, yeah. No, the coach has all the power. That's what's wrong with the game.
Well, then it's going to end in tears.
Yep, but that's what's wrong with the game. And I'm all for the coach to come in, right, because otherwise the coaches are the ones that get sacked. Players, where are the Dragons at? Where does
they're almost
and
last.
Listen, this is not Ben Hunt too. So all those players at the Dragons, how many of those are on top of the Dally M medal? How many of those are in career best form? And they come out with that demand.
Okay. I actually understand what you're saying, but I think that Ben Hunt is in career best form over the last few seasons. I think he's been as consistent as any player in the NRL. He went close to winning the Dally M last year. He is the lifeblood of that club. Every week, week after week, he's turned up.
You think it's about Ben Hunt? It's about players saying, if I don't play that, I'm going.
Well, I'm not talking about other players. I'm talking about Ben Hunt in this situation, Gordon. I'm saying if the new coach that comes in wants him to play number 9, can he rightly so say, no, I'm either playing 7 or I'm out of here? Oh. I'm not talking about every other player, but what he's done in the game, surely that gives him some equity in having that kind of opinion.
And I'd say, yeah, of course, mate. Of course I'm not going to move you and then just move him if it's better for the team. Of course, mate. Hey, listen, mate, we've just had a shift in the show, Dobbo. You either work Wednesday or Thursday or you just don't play. And then your origin career's gone, playing for Australia's gone, and you just either play there or you don't.
I don't think that's at risk. I don't think if he leaves the club, I don't think that's at risk.
No.
I don't think Billy Slater and Mal Meninga are going to say, release him because you're playing for...
They've got to release him. See, like, then you think, right, that you can just walk out and get another job. He's under contract. Remember I sat out a year at that club? Yep. So now he goes, oh, no, sorry, I'm going to walk out and I'm going to go get $1 million over there.
You think that if a player's unhappy in this modern game that the clubs are going to keep him? Gordon, come on.
Mate, and the Dragons go, no, we're not going to offer any money. There's a salary cap. Most clubs are at their salary cap. Not every club has $1 million sitting there.
Yeah, but Gordon, and the Dragons go, hold on, to go and get a better player.
So you ask me, so I sit there and go, no, that's our budget. So, yep, if you want to go, we're not going to add any more money. We're not sacking you. You're walking out. So then that club has to pay full freight.
Well, that's what happens, mate.
What club has full freight? So tell me what good club has the full freight?
No club has, well, Dolphins do. I think Canberra do. I think the Bulldogs will have it. I think they have
the Bulldogs have it? You think the Bulldogs have $1 million? You're dreaming.
Gordon, you don't think if the Bulldogs could get Ben Hunt that they would move players on to make sure that they could fit him in there? You honestly don't think that's how it works? Like, seriously. You know this game like the back of your hand better than anybody I know. If Ben Hunt's available, clubs make room.
Once. Tablecloth. What? I really like that. I didn't know that Ariat made tablecloths. Seriously.
Very good shirt. It's a very good shirt.
Is that Ariat?
Now I've got you. Yes, it is an Ariat. Thank you.
You actually haven't got me, right? All I'm saying is the boss, right? So let's go back to the point that I made, right? And you've rung him and you're trying to stick up for him because, don't worry, Benny, I'll do this.
I haven't spoken to Ben Hunt at all.
And you've rang the Raiders and you do that.
I have not spoken to the Raiders. Hey, listen, I want to qualify this.
The thing is, if you're the boss, this is all my point. If you're the boss, you have a right to put people wherever you want.
Sure.
If you're the coach. And you said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That was my point. That's all I said.
Don't mince my words. Do not mince my words. I said that Ben Hunt should have equity and he should have some equity in having a decision at the back end of his career.
And so
I think the senior players. I don't think Adam Reynolds. If Adam Reynolds, you would never do it to Adam Reynolds. You would never do it to Daly Cherry Evans.
Adam Reynolds hasn't played hooker in State of Origin and got
Daly Cherry Evans has. Manly would never do it to him. Ever.
You sure?
And I'm telling you now, I'm being serious about this. I think Ben Hunt is of the rare breed that has some input into being able to say, no, I want to play number 7. And if that doesn't work out, clubs will find a way to pay him what he's worth.
Right,
and they'll move
360
other
last
players on.
night, I asked Damien Cook, right, who's played at the highest level, where's Ben Hunt, where's his best position? 9. If you went and asked every football player, where is Ben Hunt more dangerous? 9. So now all of a sudden, because you like him, the coach gets to choose whatever's best for the team. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you keep on going on Ben Hunt. I said, it's not about Ben Hunt. It's about the player. Whatever's best for the team, your ego has to go in your pocket, right? And you got to play wherever the coach wants you to play. Period.
We're moving on. Origin. Lots to like about State of Origin.
Comeback, did you, big boy?
I have a comeback, but you're just never wrong, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm just leaving it. We're just going to agree to disagree. All right? And that's the story of our life. Yeah. Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Yeah. So then Origin, you'll be ringing Benny, hey, Benny, I tried my best for you, Benny. This is what's happened. Benny,
I don't even have Ben Hunt's number.
Benny,
I don't.
Benny, I tried for you. That's what you're going to do. You got to stop that, mate.
I don't even have his number.
Up in this world.
I don't even have his number.
360 now. You
hey,
know,
Peanut,
mate, hey.
you are powerful, Peanut, but you're not on this show. Listen, Origin at the end of the year.
No.
Buzz likes it.
No,
Buzz likes it.
You saw Buzz on Monday night, right?
Yeah.
So Buzz said...
This is on NRL 360 where he threw up. Now, I want to say 2020 at the end of the year, what was wrong with it?
Oh, listen,
we had rugby league start of Origin
in November. And now you give me your opinion.
No, I want your opinion now. I'm just going to say it was good.
Was it?
I thought it was.
Okay. So then the theory on Monday night from Buzz was you can't pick Latrell because he hasn't played for a month. Your opening statement today, can you pick Latrell Mitchell and Cam Murray because they haven't played? Was it?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I think they're up to it.
Okay. So you imagine at the end of the year, there'll be 30 players that are in the running to play State of Origin that haven't played for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
Then you want them to play at that level.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, what's the game? What's the quality? Do you know what makes Origin great? The quality of the game. Super fit, 34 players at the peak in form. Could you imagine a player not playing for 6 weeks? You say Manly don't make the final. Queensland's halfback is Daly Cherry Evans, who hasn't played a game for 5 weeks. Their fullback could be Tom Trbojevic, that haven't played for 4 to 5 weeks. If the Cowboys don't make the finals, so Queensland could have 8 players that haven't played footy for a month. Origin stays where it is. That's my point. It is absolutely at its best. The game the other night was super fit guys. You can't go into an Origin with 8 or 10 guys from both states, 12 guys that haven't played for a month.
What about the good teams getting disadvantaged because of injuries off the back of it? Like, I'm being in all seriousness. Is that just a pack? No, I'm just asking you this. Like, you don't think there's any case for the good teams that get disadvantaged from it?
No.
I don't necessarily agree with you on this, but anyway, I think that. Have you ever heard of a train-on squad?
So go ask the Raiders. Here we go. Go ask the Raiders and Warriors do they like Origin, because history shows that they have really good performances without it because they don't have Origin players. So it does even up the comp. The sides that don't have all the it does, Dobbo. So the side that doesn't have all the superstars in it, right?
Sorry, Jack Whiten, Josh Papali'i, Hudson Young, Corey Horsburgh, like all these blokes have played Origin before. They've all had Origin players before. Well, Horsburgh hasn't, but he's going to.
They don't have 8 like Penrith and Brisbane.
Well, that's on the coaches, mate, who select those blokes. Haven't you ever heard of a train-on squad? Haven't you ever heard? Didn't you ever do a train-on squad?
Nope.
You probably didn't because you were winning grand finals.
Yeah.
But, like...
They would ring me a week before, said, mate, are you okay? Pack your bag. And I'd say, okay, I'm there.
Mad Monday, they ring you and say, mate, you've been selected for the Kangaroos.
I'll say,
You're ready to go.
Thursday.
See you on Thursday at the... Well, I get it. But, I get what you're saying, and it makes sense.
Origin is in its perfect spot, right? We have tried it, right? And that was because of COVID or whatever. It couldn't get up, and they didn't want to put teams, and that's why it was played at the end of the year. And yes, it worked one-off, but you cannot move it. There will be no interest. It'll be Harvey Norman. The gap? It'll be betting computer. No interest for 18 months. No one will care. No one will care. We have tours at the end of the year.
Shorten it. 3 weeks, 3 Origins.
Okay. So then this week, there would be 5 or 6 players out. So then you don't have the best of the best. Why it makes it good is because you're watching the best of the best. You're coming up with ridiculous ideas now. Ridiculous. It has worked there. It's the highest rating. Go tell Channel 9 that you want to move it at the end of the year and see what they think.
No, I won't be doing that.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. That's it from us here. Thank you, Gordy. As usual, always.
You got shot down on everything today.
No,
you got
I
to
didn't.
come up with a better rundown, mate. Who's picking your rundowns these days?
I think, well, we know who is, but he won't.
No. I'll tell you what, I come up with
know
it today
who sets
'cause
the
I knew
rundown.
I knew,
and
right,
then
that
he
you wouldn't have
sets
an opinion on it.
We know who sets the rundown, but then walks away and wants nothing to do with it. We're not going to bring his name up. We're just going to leave him out of it because that's his choice, and we're not going to do that. Because
thank you, Elliot Lovejoy. You're powerful.
Elliot Lovejoy and Aaron Woods, thank you so much for setting the rundown today once again.
Woodsy, do you know what Woodsy? He's super talented.
Can we bar him from our show?
No.
I would like him barred.
No. I'm pushing for Woodsy and me to do this Wednesday.
Well,
mate, by popular demand, mate, we did the buy
thing
round
about
or
it
whatever
is
we
that
did.
listener actually want downloads,
mate, we helped out our mate
Woodsy's
Jimmy Graham. It went through the roof. Woodsy and I have a fight, mate. It's like Woody.
Oh, is that buy round that you did, the buy round, you and Woodsy? Yeah, I actually watched it. That was much better with you two than James Graham. But I will say this: it was a lot better. Yeah, it was a lot better than. It was a lot better.
Anyway, go change your tablecloth. There's all food all over it.
See you later, everyone.